Hey, so we are going to go through and do an IRLA, what it might look like. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, and I'm going to share my screen here, is you're going to want to pull up, oops, that's the wrong, there it is. You're going to want to pull up this page that we shared with you today. It has everything that you would need for any level of IRLA up to purple. We're going to do a white level today. So I'm going to start with the context clues. We'll just click on that, and that should pop right up for you. When you get to this part where you can see the assessment, the student slides, you're going to want to click Start Presentation. Now what'll happen is you will be able to see it, but your student may not. So this is where I usually stop share and then get ready to meet with the student. So we're going to let him in just a second. So he'll be coming in with us. Here he comes. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Mom.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you, okay? And we're going to talk about a few words, and then we are also going to read a few words and read a little bit of a story today, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, make sure that I am sharing the present view. And then this is what he'll see at first, but when I click, it'll take me to this part. Now remember, you're going to want to have your iPad up so that you can record everything at the same time while your student is going through and doing this. So Charlie, we're going to read a few sentences, and I'm going to ask you to give me a synonym or a word that means exactly the same, or a phrase, to put in the sentence instead, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so the first sentence, she was extremely proud of her little dog. What about extremely? What's another word you could put in there? You don't have to touch it. You just have to say it to me, okay?
Oh, okay.
He was
She was extremely proud of her little dog.
What word can we put in there instead of extremely that would mean the same thing?
Extreme.
Okay. So then I would mark that down. I would fill that in, but I would say that he needed to use a different word, right? Susie was mad and muttered to herself all the way home. What is muttered?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, so we'll fill in I don't know. How about this one? Grandpop's in a bad mood tonight, remarked Mom. Remarked. What's another word that we can put in there?
Remade?
Okay. The class was overjoyed about the field trip. Overjoyed.
The overjoyed can be joyed.
Okay. And then think about what word you could put in there that means the same. Try not to use the same parts of the same word.
Okay.
So what's another thing you can say instead of joyed or overjoyed?
Joy.
Another word besides joy. We don't want to use the same parts of the word.
Excited.
There we go. All right. So that's a little bit of a peek of how that part would look. So then Charlie, I am going to ask you to sit tight for a second. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up, I'm going to close this one, and then I'm going to open up the phonics gap locator. I'm going to give it a second to load.
Yep, the loading. Oh,
Yep,
there we go.
it's loading. Okay. And then I'm going to press present mode. Now he can't see present mode on mine right now because I'm on the other screen. So I'm just going to stop share really quick. Come on over and pull up the present mode. All right, and then I'm going to have him go ahead and read these words for me. So go ahead, Charlie, when you're ready, you can start reading these words. Take your time, do your best.
Okay. Interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
Fiery.
Good.
Responsibility. Responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Encyclopedia. Finally. Refrigerator. Refrigerator.
Good. And I'm going to have you pause right there for a second, Charlie, because I'm going to show them. Then all I need to do when he finishes this is I just click and it'll go to the next slide. Click, it'll go to the next slide until it's all done. All right.
I know one in that one is debit.
Yeah, well, that's what most kids say. All right, bud. So then we are going to go into the last piece. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to close this out. And then the cold read will be right here.
Okay.
So we'll pull this up.
Yep, because it's a link.
It's a link, you're right. I'm going to stop share for just 1 second.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm going to put it in present mode first. So I'm going to click present mode. So that'll make it big on the screen. And then if he can't see it big on the screen, then I'll just quickly stop share, go back, and then this time select the present mode one. All right. So Charlie, you can choose from a few different books. We have Aliens for Breakfast, Hungry Plants, or King Tut's Mummy.
Aliens for Breakfast.
Okay. So then when we click on this link, this is going to bring up the whole page. So he should be able to see the whole page. One of the things just to keep in mind, sometimes if the student has the picture boxes in a certain spot, it could be covering the words. So if they tell you that they can't see part of the text, you might want to just ask them to slide the pictures out of the way. Occasionally, based on where their toolbars or things are, they may not be able to see a bottom corner, so I usually just will minimize and bring it up a little bit and slide it around the screen a little bit until they're able to see. All right, so now that we're set up and ready, Charlie, why don't you go ahead and start reading for me?
Before we actually start, I noticed when you're talking, since we're in the same house, actually, I can hear you talking first, then in the Zoom,
there's a little echo.
It transfers it.
I know.
So yep, just learned that right now.
Awesome. Okay, can you start and read the story for me?
Yep. Richard eyed his bowl. Everything in it had solid in the milk, gave a tiny splash, a round pink thing, the color of chewed bubble gum, started to climb up the side of the bowl. Amazed Richard touched it with his spoon.
Good, and I'm going to pause you there. So then I would enter in, he would be good to go. This might be the part where then we check in and we talk about his goal. One of the things that we can work on, Charlie, is using the sentence to figure out what new words mean or synonyms, other words that mean the same thing. Thanks for reading with us today, bud. You can go ahead and log on out.
But first, let me show you something.
You can show me a little bit later. Go ahead and log on out.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So that's just a little bit going over it. The big things to remember are just make sure when you're sharing your screen that what you want the student to see is popped up on there, and that little page is going to be your best friend finding all the pieces that you need for the components.